And Bhagavan told, this is the last chance, I'll forgive you all. And then whenever he forgives, after that he kind of, compensates more than those absences. And then you kind of, find Bhagavan searching out for them, talking to them, and showering more love. I have, during my stay with Bhagwan, seen that whenever Bhagwan is upset with the students, for some reason, it is always to correct, obviously, the students. But at the same time, there used to be a little bit of kind of concern. Are the students taking things on the right spirit or not? I remember Vrindavan, once Bhagwan was unhappy with a couple of students. And the only way that Bhagwan thought that he could kind of drive home a message is not allowing them to come inside Tri campus. So they were from the hostel, they were allowed to go and stand outside the Tri gate. They cannot enter. So those students were kind of standing there, and when Bhagwan came, they knelt down and started pleading, Swami, please forgive us, please forgive us. But Bhagwan just walked into the Saram shed as if he had not even heard them. But what happened in the Saram shed changed my perspective of Bhagwan. He was actually in the Saram shed collecting the letters from many devotees. But every time he got a chance to look, his eyes was only on those three students. What were they doing? Those three students were crying, they were kind of, tears were flowing down, they were wiping their eyes, and the tears. Bhagwan was just picking up the letters from the devotees as if it was mechanical. But his focus, his attention, his mind, his heart, everything was on those three students. And when he sat down in the Saram shed, because the Saram shed used to be a little covered, so it used to be a little dark. And when you're in the outside, it is very bright. So the students couldn't see Swami, but the Swami could very clearly see those students. And then not only me, many of the other devotees who were there in the Saram shed came back and told, brother, those three students whom Swami is upset with, Swami was going on looking at them throughout the 45 minutes. And then needless to say, when Bhagwan came back, he kind of, allowed them to go near him, and they all kind of, held Swami's feet and asked for forgiveness. They wet Swami's robe with their tears, and then Bhagwan told, this is the last chance, I'll forgive you all. And then whenever he forgives, after that he kind of compensates more than those absences. And then you kind of find Bhagwan searching out for them, talking to them, and showering more love than what they had missed out during those times. One day, Bhagwan was sitting with the students, and then Bhagwan decided to talk about Radha and Meera. And Bhagwan spoke about those great souls, how Mirabai, from morning till night, kept on chanting the glory of Lord Krishna. How she was subjected to a lot of difficulties, but still she never gave up the name of Lord Krishna. Similarly, Bhagavan spoke about Radha. and how after Lord Krishna left to Dwarka, how Radha used to go to every tree where Lord Krishna had kind of played flute and would sit down and then relive those memories. When Bhagwan kind of, very beautifully he told Radha, Adhar, Dhara, Aradhana. Bhagwan used to pun with those words beautifully. Radha's Adhar was Dhara, continuous Aradhana on Lord Krishna. Then one of the students asked, Bhagwan, I have a doubt. You spoke about two of the greatest devotees of yours. They had the highest of desires to yearn for God, to think about Him, and fill every moment of a living life in His thoughts is the greatest thing that any human could think of. But when they had the highest of desires, why is it that they suffered the most? Bhagavan was very happy with that question. And Swami told very beautifully. He said, the very fact that you have taken a human birth on this earth means you cannot say no to suffering. Suffering is bound to come. And Bhagavan gave a very beautiful analogy. He said, when a child is born, it is like he is thrown to the shore from the middle of the ocean. Now he has two choices. One, either go back to the source or go far from the source, into the land. Every ocean, every wave is like a difficult moment. So when he is on the shore, a big wave comes. Couple of seconds, he is inside the water. It feels when it is receding as if it's kind of taking the mud underneath. But it doesn't stay for long. It just goes away. Then begins again the happiness. After some time, again another wave comes. Again it starts a moment of unhappiness. So those who are standing on the shore, for them an occasional wave comes. So that is the cycle of happiness and suffering continues. And if you choose to go away from the source, you may reach beyond the reach of those waves. You may feel that, oh, I'm going to have dry land and have a pretty happy time. But do not forget that many steps you take away from the source, that many additional steps you have to take to come back to the source. That's extra time I want to take. But if you decide keeping the name of the Lord in your heart and lips and mind and go back to the source, you have to battle with the waves, wade through the waves every moment. So it's going to be suffering, but at the end, you are going to be rewarded. You're going to go back to your source from where you have come.
Anyone who goes with an expectation, he just reflects that expectation.